Hello, this is Toonkind at 12 FPS. We are playing a game called No Fishing in the River of Time today. I am Oatmeal and I will be playing the Professor. And with me is.
Hi, my name is Jade, also known as Megamagma in other circles, and I will be playing Retcon, the god of continuity.
Mhm. All right. And when we start out, uh, the the Professor has basically uh, asked asked his ship, the Ellipsis 4000, to take him to a river, um, because he it's been a while since he's been fishing, and he's got a nice pole, and she she doesn't she lands, and he does not look out the view screen. Um, and the TARDIS, oh god,
The TARDIS.
um the ellipsis exterior is uh a small well, it's a phone box. It's a red phone box,
Mm-hmm.
particularly of the kind in like IRL, you know, Britain and stuff, but like
Yeah, yeah.
for obvious reasons. But he lands and he uh opens the door,
Do you want me to?
and I think I should probably roll perception.
Please do, because
Okay.
depending on where you land, actually, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Instead of perception, roll a d4, and I'll tell you where you
Oh,
land if you want that.
okay. Absolutely. D4. I got a 2.
Two. Okay. So immediate. So you're just stepping out of the ellipsis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have landed on top of a platform.
Oh,
Uh,
good.
and made it, and I'll post an image of what the River of Time looks like, so you can kind of get an idea of where you actually landed.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately above you,
Mm-hmm.
you can see winding, like infinitely winding, part uh, like yarn thread,
Mm-hmm.
floating above you in multiple different colors. Below you, you see a small platform made out of like a shining white light. Uh, uh, just like just there. It has a ladder and like two big wheels when you look over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
You see multiple tapestries and a night sky in the like above, and I'll put a picture in the
Mm-hmm.
video too. And like tapestries that are hanging from the night sky.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this is where you land.
Okay.
So if you
Um,
yeah, if you can see it, that's the platform right there in the middle.
yeah, I got it. I'm gonna roll perception anyway, just to see if you can tell something out. Um, 11 plus 3, 14. Yeah, I mean that was kind of a easy. Let's see. All right. 11 plus. Okay, so we got a 14 on perception. So he can tell right away that this place is like it it's like it is like saturated with temporal energy.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he's he just I think he steps out, um and the door closes behind him, and he's got just his fishing pole on one hand, and he's just looking around.
Roll me another perception check,
All right.
just to see if you can spot.
Mhm. Ooh. Okay, I got an 11.
You got an 11.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a perception check for this boy.
Okay.
Let's see if that plus 18 will help him. Yeah, I think a 26 is pretty good. So I'll just. A moment, I'm posting it. So, almost immediately behind you, like you just
Oh
hear
no.
a large booming voice just say, "Excuse me, but what do you think you're doing here?"
Behind him?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I think he sort of like jolts forward and like spins around. Um and
Post a picture of
he
Rhett.
oh yeah. Nice.
This man is 3 feet
Um
tall.
what?
This man is 3 feet tall.
Sweet. And I think he's um he just sort of like squints and he says uh, wrong number.
Wrong number. You find yourself within the river of time, and you telling me you got here through a wrong number?
Oh, wrong wait, hang on, what? Wrong coordinates, but the time.
Who are you?
uh well, I'm the professor.
Professor, Professor. And this is where Rhett is. You see, Rhett's like he's on a little cloud made out of like
Yeah.
cotton material, and
Mm-hmm.
you see him float upwards towards that river, or
Mm-hmm.
well, to the threads, and immediately like one his fingers, which float like at the end of extensions, just kind of like reach in, and you can see
Uh-huh.
a thread pulled out.
Okay, I think the professor has kind of startled and like is kind of like half reaching out to stop them, but he like can't, they're too far away. But like he's like, "Oh, are you sure you should be doing that?"
Oh yes, this is my domain, and this is entirely my job. And he pulls out the thread, and immediately it's like a oh god, how do I describe this? So immediately upon pulling it out, you see like it's almost like he's reading it.
Huh.
Like he's paying intent attention to it. It's like, oh, I see. At times are.
And that would make you
The god of continuity.
okay.
Redcon, by the way.
Redcon. Yes. He's kind of got like a forced neutral expression.
Yeah. You see, by the way, he's starting to float back down, and the thread is coming with him.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh, jeez. Um.
and the fishing rod. As
Oh.
he notices the fishing rod in your hands.
Um. He says, I was trying to get to a river, but this, I think, is the wrong kind to.
You were trying to get to a river, and your machine took you here.
Yes. Well, I can't blame her. I mean, this place is dripping with temporal energy.
God, I'd hope so. So, Professor,
Hmm.
apart from fishing, what else brings you here to this day? I don't have a particular liking for your kind, so.
I don't know.
You see, Redcon is just, and he actually does get an idea, and you see
Mhm.
him reach into like his fingers kind of reach into himself, like almost like into
Ooh.
the, or I guess into the cotton cloud, and he pulls out like a small little ball of light,
Uh-huh.
which immediately turns into a fishing rod.
Oh,
How about a trip down memory lane? Why don't we, Professor?
what are you implying?
You'll see, and you start floating upwards.
Ah! Oh my god. Oh my god.
What's
Oh
your
no.
intelligence? What's your intelligence score?
Intelligence, uh,
Or, sorry, I
um,
should say your intelligence modifier.
modifier is a +1.
Plus, how the you're the professor.
I know! I gave him a high constitution and charisma. He's the fourth one. He has to have those in spades, but the
I want to let you know that the movement of the River of Time is the same as the astral plane, where
Mhm.
it's 5 times your it's 5 times your intelligence modifier. You have a 5 foot movement speed floating.
Jeez.
This is gonna take forever. And you see, uh, one moment, he's going to cast.
What are you doing? I'd like to stay on the ground, thank you, or platform.
Fuck it. He just casts haste. Suddenly, you can move a lot faster.
Okay.
Uh, and eventually, you see at top of the River of Time. You couldn't see it before because we were standing from underneath it.
Mhm.
We kind of went around it.
Yeah.
A boat.
Oh.
You said
Suppose you
you
don't want me to
you said
go
you wanted to
there.
fish, didn't you?
I he just sort of levels them like a like just sort of like a dry look, like really. But does go down to the boat, and when he's in the boat, like he like leans over the side to like just stare at the river of time, because what the heck? That's
To paint you a small little picture of what you see, it
Mhm.
is it is a sort of ever flowing, like if you ever play Yoshi's Woolly World or like Kirby's Epic
Mm,
Yarn, it's
mhm,
kind of like the ocean is made out of the yarn threads of that, and it's
mhm,
just infinitely like in rainbow colors. They sift and swift and like and shift in waves, and like some of them go back in and some of them come out, and you never really see like two exact threads that like
mhm,
you can keep an eye on. Like as you move on, as your eye moves on from thread to thread, new
mm,
ones just show up. This is
mhm,
an infinite number of threads held within a confined space.
mhm. Continuity. Timelines?
Each and every person represents a thread, and he would bring yours closer to you.
Mm. Yeah, he
This,
doesn't like that. He leans away.
what? Don't like your past?
Well, that's another matter entirely, but like I don't want to mess with it.
I don't mess with it. And you see him reach like the thread kind of floats forward in a sense to go back to go to the backwards in directions, and
Mhm.
you see a small little knot that's been tangled up with another thread.
Uh-huh.
Um, and it's just it's a knot that's not definitely not supposed to be there, because you do see some of the threads have like intertwined together, but they've intertwined like in such a way that they like you can still see the defined threads. This is an
Right.
actual knot, and
Oh.
my job is to make sure that these don't happen. And he kind of doesn't cut it, but it's almost like it swiftly just undoes it and straightens it out.
Oh my god. um,
I
he's
don't.
really tense.
It's not like they affect you much. Most of these knots are imperceptible to a person.
Well, to a normal person, not to a time czar.
No, they wouldn't. And at that point, I think the boat begins to run, and it is a steamboat. Uh,
Oh.
there's like little cotton clouds. They gotta keep within the theme. Coming out of
Mm-hmm.
the top, and I know we usually use worms for fishing, but you don't need any bait for this one. And he kind of throws it out, like using the light fishing rod that he has.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you would also like to partake in fishing.
Honestly, I think at this point, no.
No, he wouldn't. Oh
No,
damn!
he's just he's gonna watch because he doesn't wanna touch any of this.
You're not even curious about your own thread that's now floating, like not next to you, but kind of like next to Redcon.
He is curious about it. He will look at it. He is not going to touch it because in his mind, um that that uh that results generally in disastrous consequences.
Uh, you know what? Since are you saying anything else, or are you just wearily staring at your own thread?
Um, I think um I think he's going to look at the thread and he's going to ask and what exactly gives you the authority to do this?
And he kind of like looks down at himself. I am literally made out of like I
Sorry,
was
made out of what?
I am literally made out of the river. I read what it tells me, and I do what it tells me. I am not the one under authority. The river commands me. I just perceive what it says.
Hmm.
I would like to imagine as a if you would like to roll a perception check as you're passing as the boat is continuing to pass by things.
Okay. So, I rolled a 1. I rolled
Amazing.
a like I got the score I got was a 4, but I rolled a crit 1, so crit
um
fail.
here's what I'll say happens.
Uh-huh.
You suddenly feel something hit your head.
Uh-huh. He like ducks and moves to the side.
Uh on the boat now is like a small little worm that has like it's like the front of it has like a bunch of teeth, and
Mm-hmm.
it has what do you call it? Like it's striped in of itself,
Huh.
and it has jumped from the river and onto the boat and hit you in the head.
Oh my god. um. Okay. Yeah. Uh. He takes a step back from it and says, "Well, what is that?"
That is what we're fishing for. Pesky little things, time worms, eat at the threads.
Hmm. Ah, I know the type.
And you see Redcon grabs it, squish.
Uh-huh.
Do not
He
want
is
to.
actually
Yeah.
uh,
Sorry. Go ahead.
he is actually gonna start prepping his ball now.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, if the both of them are just fishing for a couple of minutes,
Mm-hmm.
I do think at some point you would pass by like at some point you just like looking about and just staring at the tapestries.
Mm-hmm.
And there's multiple that depict like certain events and stories. Like there's one with like 5 people with like some dude in like a jacket that wears a mask and like two
Mm-hmm.
kids and like a cat and like a fire spirit or whatever on a train.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know about that one. There's another one that's just like uh there's multiple basically. Just
Yeah.
tapestries all over of telling stories of like funny stories, and
Mm-hmm.
then it gets to one that I think you would recognize,
Mm-hmm.
which is the best way I can say it. Do you want to say it? Do you want to pick one yourself, or do you want me to tell you what I think it would look like?
Um, I don't know. I think you go ahead.
You want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah, it depicts your planet.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, with a giant figure, definitely a vampiric figure above it,
Uh-huh.
and a bloody war that happened underneath it.
Yeah. He he studies it. Um and uh hmm. How lifelike is this depiction of
How lifelike? It's very how do you say? It's very oh god. If you look for them, there are many details within it.
uh-huh.
But when you're just staring at it, like as the longer you stare, the more details you can pick up. But like when you first stare at it, it's like a very simple depiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll say that much.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he's gonna uh frown at it and like he's gonna look at different like details in it and like um just like he just looks like unsettled. Like he knows this story, but he doesn't like it.
Mm-hmm. I can see you don't like your past,
It's hardly my past.
the past of your people. You lot have
Yes.
been trying and tempting time for as long as you have existed, basically.
Well, yes.
You asked me what gave me the right to mess with this river. What gives
Hmm.
your time czars the right?
As nobody else was taking care of it. We had to. The gods don't care. They play games. They don't care about the individuals. We had to take matters into our own hands.
Oh boy. Roll me an insight check.
Okay. Okay. Got a 14.
A 14. It is
Yep.
not difficult to tell that the moment that you say that the gods don't care about the individual,
Mm-hmm.
Redcon is pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you ever say we do not care. And like the pole has been gone from his hand. It just disappears into into
Mm-hmm.
um you have no idea what things we've sacrificed. I maintain this river. Your time czars just mess with the flow of it. You create tangles and you see multiple threads just like appear upwards, and you see there are tangles there, and Redcon immediately just like more of his fingers just kind of show up from the river and like begin untangling those immediately upon them, and then
Mm-hmm.
he puts the threads back onto the river.
Mm-hmm.
Those are you. Not you particularly, but your time czars. And he actually particularly pulls on a thread and pulls it forward. And you can see part of this thread has been cut and spliced, and a new thread has been added.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulls on a thread that is on his body and
Oh.
shows it compared to the next one, and you can see the exact cuts that were made. Don't
Uh-huh.
ever say we don't care about the individuals. This is a tireless, timeless job.
Yeah, but when you're immortal, does it hard? It doesn't.
By the way, he got up all in your face during that conversation. Like,
Yeah. You're the first god I've met who even claimed to care.
you should me and my family.
Mm.
Do you think I weave these patterns, these fabrics, into the tapestries you see above you? That was my system. They love to tell the tales you people create. And there's another tapestry. What games have you been in? Give me a game that you've been in.
It's called the Virtuoso's Flourish.
Virtuoso's Flourish. A tapestry depicting that game comes down
Mm-hmm.
and like is now next to the boat as the boat is
Mm-hmm.
traveling.
Yeah. He kind of grimaces at it.
We tell all the stories you like. Each thread, each individual taken care of and made sure that nothing goes wrong with them. Because, and he pulls another thread comes out of the river, and you see this one is cut. It is no longer continuing forward, and in fact, it is being left behind by the boat,
Mm.
as you see it. Because not all stories come to completion. And that thread goes back into the river.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, of course not. Look, I understand that this realm is focused on stories, but that's not how it works everywhere. The the universe isn't that orderly. It isn't that fair.
That is something we can agree.
Mm.
I wish I could make it fair. But sadly, I don't have the spell wish.
Mm. I'm not even sure if that would do it. What? What did you just manifested from the river?
I was spun into existence by the spinning wheel, in a sense. My mother, in your terms.
Mm.
Why do you travel, Professor? Why specifically here, might I ask? You have an infinite cosmology that you could be taking off. Planets upon planets you could explore with your machine, and yet you chose here. Not this plane, but Einquo. And this planet that exists on, that definitely has a name.
Oh, I think me and a few other people have been just calling it Earth.
I know it has been. I am 1 second. Do not know this info. It doesn't have a name. It literally just doesn't have a name. So we're just gonna keep it at.
Right,
We're just gonna keep it nameless for now. I have just
right.
looked at the helping
Fair
guide.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Um, he he says, it's very simple. I arrived there by chance. I needed a break from from the planet Darth, and I just needed somewhere else to and he just is kind of like quiet for a second, and he says, I got used to having a home base of sorts on Darth. It and I don't look, traveling alone is it's awful. I had to find somewhere else with people just on the off chance. And in the meantime, I mean, I can I can help.
Redcon takes a moment at that. Like at the idea of you, like you saying you wanted to help people,
Mhm.
and he goes back to your thread and looks at it again,
Mhm.
and he pulls on other multiple different types of threads, and like specifically some threads that are actually you see are intertwined with yours.
Mhm.
Um, uh, if you wanted to perceive any of those threads, just like look into them and see into them, you could if you wanted to, as he's pulling them, because they're kind of floating next to the river
Are
or
they
next to the boat.
none of them are from the future, are they? Because that would be a problem.
We are always in the present. And you see, even though the boat is moving and it looks like the threads are moving past it, in the
Mhm.
distance you see, and like the tapestries are moving, in the distance you see a church that has not moved from the spot. And you look down underneath the river and you just catch a glimpse of the same platform that you've been standing on, that you were standing
Mhm.
on previously. The
Oh.
future is always ahead and the past is always behind. I look at the present and I pull on the threads from time to time whenever tangles appear behind and then in the front. But you can only look at the present.
Fine. How?
Look into the thread.
All right. He'll uh do that. I think if
I'll
they
I'll let you pick like a character from your backstory if you want, or just like a random person you interacted with,
Mhm.
to look into and like what they're currently doing at the moment. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and you can just see it. It's
Mhm.
it's almost like you're standing there like holographically, and you can
Mhm.
just see what they're doing at this current moment.
Yeah, I have a character in mind.
Oh, please go ahead.
Um
Tell me what you see.
the- uh yeah, yeah. Um Colonel Briggs from um the uh sort of task force that he had associated with back on Darth um is uh is he's examining a map and some seismographs for some uh very strange readings um and he's like standing over his desk and there's a few other folks in there um and they're all just it's almost like a war room meeting but they like are pointing things out and um yeah.
That is what you see. At any moment when you stop, like just staring into the thread, you'll
Yeah.
basically be back on the river, like on the boat in the
Mhm.
river.
Yeah.
And specifically, I can take a guess. This is actually me, Jade, asking you, Oatmeal, that the professor is fundamentally different from most of the other Phalagranians, right? Like you wanted to leave that life behind,
Uh,
in a sense.
yeah, no, he definitely chose to leave.
Perhaps, Professor, you and I are not that fundamentally different. I mean, apart from me being a god and you immortal, um, do you want to help?
Of course, I want to help.
Then, and you see, he reaches into his cloud again, and
Hmm.
it almost looked like one of his fingers, but you see it's much tinier, and it's a little needle pin, and I'll find you a picture so you can see it.
Mm.
I have 3 monitors, and so finding my mouse sometimes is fucking ridiculous. I need to make it bigger. Um, let me find the thing. Never mind, I don't have it. Let me look it up. I got you. One moment. Sorry. The image. Here we go. It is one of these,
Uh-huh.
and you see magic, like just like he a finger goes in a circle and like a small clock appears, and like the needle pin kind of turns into a ticking, like a thinking part of that clock, and once it reaches
Mm.
back up to 12 after it's gone to 12 hours, you see it now gradiates temporal magic, like you said, and he
Uh-huh.
patches it onto you, and it slips neatly onto your coat, like just a like it's a little push pin, so it just steeps in your coat.
Ah.
This will give you access whenever you wish to enter my domain, if you ever wish to visit me again. As well, and it also has an effect. You have a single time use of Fortune's Favor. Do you know that
Ooh.
spell?
Um, Me personally, no.
Here,
Uh,
I got you. It is a second level spell,
mhm.
and it is basically advantage given a spell form.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is an actual spell in D&D.
Hmm, hmm.
It's there you go. It's doing a fancy magic.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, it's a luck thing. Okay, got it. That is very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. He holds it and like looks at it and um uh looks at Rhett and just sort of shakes his head a little and says, "Why?"
Do you want an honest answer, or do you want what I should tell you?
I don't know. Both.
1 moment, because I pulled something for this. Because Professor, I see a cold wind blowing through. I see days neither fun nor free. I see a future. I see a path not meant to be. And I think you could help.
Okay.
Sadly, I know you do not wish to talk about the future, so I cannot tell you any more than that.
Well, yes. No, and I appreciate that. No, as tempting as it is,
Consider it an invitation to come fish again. And you see the light appear one more time and turn into a fishing pole. And
Mhm.
out of it, he pulls like 3 river worm, time worms out of the river that have just hooked onto the line. Disgusting little things. And he pops each and every one of them.
Oh boy. um. Jeez. Um. Do you wanna? Do you wanna like roll insight or something?
Yeah, sure. I'll roll insight for a god. Dude,
Like I'm not.
the more you make me roll, the more fun it is.
Yeah.
23. I rolled a 5.
Oh wow.
It's an 18 insight.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, man. All right. Yeah. I mean, he still doesn't. Um. He still doesn't trust Rhett. He still he's quite wary of them. He's convinced that they're not uh maybe like an immediate danger, but like he's uh, he's fully prepared to like have
You're
to
fully prepared to throw down?
like honestly he's like taking notes for like if he ever has to face you.
Oh, this is a fun one. This is definitely a thing. This is a Oh
Like
boy,
he
the fact
doesn't.
that the fact that Red Tongue can pick up all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
You
with that score.
yeah. You do not have to trust me, Professor. Believe me, I have existed for far longer than your time czars or you, and I will exist far longer after.
Yes.
I look and I untangle. I do not mess with the threads of time. That is my job.
Hmm. Well, you're doing better than the time czars are because they either just look, just watch, and only change things for their own means, or they go rogue, go mad with hunger for power and just mess everything up by directly interfering.
Uh, yeah, you know what? I'll pull it down. This was a high this was a possible high angst game, so it will be mentioned that a tapestry does come down again, and
Hmm.
Redcon says, "Oh, I know," and the tapestry depicts notes. A moment. Fucking mouse. Okay, there you go. Just there are genocides in the tapestry. It's just how it is. We can't honey
Hmm.
wrap this. This can't be a lighter note. There are
Yeah.
genocides upon this tapestry of
Uh-huh.
multiple different races, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Yep. 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 That is accurate. Definitely several. uh and I'm yeah. Yeah, he looks at it and just he he looks a little closer and he says like huh, they didn't even teach us about those two. And that one they said was a mistake. Of course, history is written by the victors.
Yes, it is. Luckily, the river is objectless. It does not have a victor. It just sees. And Redcon does say, "Hope you never find yourselves within one of those." And puts the tapestry back up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is Professor still fishing, or has at some point dropped the fishing rod?
I think he's been kind of just like holding it, but absolutely not paying attention to it.
I'll say this: you feel a tug.
Okay, I mean, he knows how to fish. He will. Uh, I think he's just gonna like yank on it and then start to reel it in.
I feel like this should be a check. Like,
Oh,
what would
absolutely.
roll
I just don't know
survival? Yeah,
what.
roll survival. Survival, probably.
Sure. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, I got an 11.
That's good enough. It's a 10. It's above a 10.
Uh-huh.
These things are not hard to catch.
Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, you with an 11, you managed to catch a single time worm.
Hmm.
Disgusting little things. And Rhett just pops it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, man.
So, I'm guessing they just sit in quiet for a while.
I think so.
Yeah. At some point, Red will just say, "Well, this has been fun." Not really. I absolutely
No.
distracted me from my work. But it's not like time matters much in this place, anyways. And
Mm.
uh, the the boat will literally like go into the river underneath you, and you're just floating in the air again.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Yeah, he kind of flails a little bit.
You can just
Just looks
fly.
annoyed. Okay. Well, all right. And he sort of like uh gets uh gets more coordinated and does so, but he's like, this is not something I do regularly.
It's by this point, Red, who is able to very quickly travel through this plane,
Mm-hmm.
is now standing next to the ellipsis,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm guessing eventually you'll make it down your way down there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, as he stands next to the ellipses, and I'm guessing you're starting to go inside. Redcon will just say, "Please, if you can, stick to extraplanar travel. Time travelers are a pain in the ass to deal with."
No promises.
No, it's not like I don't already see the amount of times trouble you're gonna give me.
And I think he takes one more like sort of concerned, sort of skeptical, sort of uncertain look at first the River of Time itself and uh and its accoutrement, the tapestries and stuff, such, and also at Red, and uh, he. Oh God! All right, are you gonna be nice or are you gonna be rude? I'm gonna roll.
Roll for it, and I think I have something for you if you're willing to let me. Actually, I'll type it up to you um
All right, he rolled. The heck did you get again? He rolled a 17, so he's going to be nice. That was a. I just rolled straight wisdom.
nice.
That's So he's going to be nice, and he basically like, uh, I mean, he extends like a hand, in like offering like a handshake.
You know what?
Hmm.
Since you are so nice, uh, he will return it, and I'm going to send you a DM asking you about something.
Uh-huh.
And you tell me if it's all right for him to say it or not.
Hmm. Ooh, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. And then Rhett will just say, "Oh, and by the way, you
Mm.
should really have a talk with Epsilon."
Uh, his eyes go wide, and um, and then he narrows his eyes, like, huh, and then he says, "All right."
And with that, Rhett will wave after shaking your hand
Hmm.
and immediately begin to float away. And I think that's what we call this.
Yeah, yeah. Professor will return to his box and dematerialize.
Fantastic. All right.
Oh boy,
That was fun.
that
That was a
that
lot of
went
fun.
amazingly well. Like
I
Rhett actually did a really good job, like convincing him. Like if Rhett wasn't as um
calm.
yeah, maybe calm or to the point, or frank with him, like he would absolutely have been like uh way more upset at him.
Oh man. Okay. I think I'm gonna stop the recording now. Thank you to the Peanut Gallerist,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, everybody.
and thank you for the listeners. Goodbye.